So what's Christianity all about? What is this gospel, this good news that maybe you've heard about if you've ever walked into a church? Well, let me give you the short version. Before anything ever came to be, God was there. God spoke, and everything that we understand in human existence came to be. There's nothing that God didn't create. And God desperately wanted to have relationship with his creation. And he wanted to be able to have that wonderful relationship with us. But humanity, we chose to go our own way. And we chose not to follow the way that God had laid out in front of us. And so as a result, there became this separation between us and God, our Creator. And God desperately wanted that separation to end. And so he stepped up and he sent Jesus. Jesus was his son, fully God, and yet he came to earth and became fully human to live on the earth and to experience the struggle of humanity. God knew that separation could only be remedied by a perfect sacrifice. Our choice to walk away leads to death and eternal separation from God. So God gave Jesus, his son, to take on himself the consequences of our rebellion. And he died in our place. The amazing gift of love is that not only did Jesus die for us, God in his power raised Jesus back to life, proving that God had defeated evil and death. If we confess our sin to him and we confess our need for him, God has said that we can have a life full of hope and meaning. And we can look forward to an eternal future with God. Listen to what some of my friends have to say about this gift of love.
The gift of love going hand in hand with Jesus' forgiveness, God's forgiveness, and just looking at it like, what is God's love without forgiveness, and what is his forgiveness without love? One of the kind of big ideas that stuck with me was how big of a risk it was for God. And you look at him like the all-powerful creator of the universe, and he's so amazing and intricate, and he created us, and then he chose to love us despite of everything that he knew was going to happen, and everything that we do daily, however many times we mess up, and that he still chooses to love us daily.
I mean, we were created, right? Mankind was created for a relationship with him, and he must have loved his creation because he said it was good. It was very good. But then we turned and went our own way. Jesus was willing to pay whatever price to make it right. He was willing to leave everything that he had in glory and come and be one of us to make that relationship possible again. That to me is absolute love. Like, who does that? You might do it for a friend, very close friend, but we were enemies, and that to me spells love, absolute love.
Jesus is the perfect example of love because he chose to die for people who were scoffing him, for people who were mocking at him, and I was one of those people, and he died for me. And so that level of love, to die for people who hate you, in order to redeem them, to save them, that's just the ultimate level of love, and it's an impossible example to live up to.
What does the gift of love that Jesus gives to us look like in my life? Well, first of all, I would describe it as a birthday present, or better than a Christmas present, because it's not something that we get once a year or just at Christmas time, but it's something that we get daily. Every single day we have this gift of love poured on us. And so that's what it means to me. It just means something I'm walking in every day. It literally fuels my life. It's like having a car that never runs out of gas. That is the Lord's love for us. It never runs out. It's unconditional, and he demonstrated it for us in the most beautiful way possible by going to the cross. He died, and he demonstrated his love for us while we were still sinners. And I'm just blown away by that. This love that he has shown for us is incredible. It is a wonderful gift.
This gift of salvation, gift of love that Jesus has given us, it means security to me. Well, even through tough times, the last number of years haven't been great in many ways. In many ways, they have been great. There's not that our whole life has been bad the last 5 years, but we've had a lot of hardships, family struggles, car accident, number of things that should put a frown on our face, if you will. But I still wake up every morning and know that God is in control and He's taking care of us and He loves us, and that's what carries us, our family. We believe that Jesus still loves us even through the pain.
John 3:16, which is one of the most well-known verses and often quoted, says this: "For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son, that whoever would believe in Him would not perish but would have eternal life." In verse 17, the next verse says this. It says, "For God did not send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through Him." This was His gift of love.
Following Jesus and choosing to accept that love and seeing how it affects me, mainly when I thought of it was how much more joy I can have, and I can find joy in small everyday things as well as bigger things that go on in my life. And it's all in for God. He comes all in for you with His love, and just being able to get up every day kind of refreshed on that note of, today I can choose joy, and I can turn to Him and look for that joy, and it'll be there, and I can just go about my day and just so much more joyful, just in work life primarily, and just I'm not looking forward to work and going to work and just kind of having a bad attitude about it, and just being able to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take the most of this. I'm gonna choose joy in this, seeing how it blesses other people around me too. When I can choose to have joy, when I can find that joy, and just properly seize it and go about my day joyfully, just seeing how much more positively it affects people around me.
But when I understood that God not only loved the world, but loved me personally so much that He was willing to die for me, where I told myself, you know, it doesn't matter what people think of me. It doesn't even matter how I see myself. I need to look at how He sees me, and then to just rejoice in the fact that I am deeply loved and cared for, not because of what I am or am not, but who He has made me.
Well, it means that there's nothing for me to be afraid of. There was a plan from the beginning. God knew we were going to fall and that we were going to turn away from Him, but He had this master plan to redeem us. If He had that planned out from the beginning, He's got everything planned out. There's nothing that's going to surprise Him, so there shouldn't be anything for us to worry about. It also means I shouldn't be afraid to mess up going forward, slip up and not following Him or His commandments. He already died knowing all the bad stuff that I've done, right? He already redeemed me from my sins. So there's nothing He won't forgive me for already.
God's love for me changes my life in the way that it motivates me. It is the reason why I do what I do. I want to do it for Him. It says in the Bible that we love because He first loved us. And so that's kind of like my motto. That's what I want to live my life for. And so the way that God has showed His love for me, I want to show that to others. And so it's just what I do and why I do it. And so that is why I just appreciate the gift of love, and that's how it's changed my life.
I think a big thing is, especially in the last few years where we've had some struggles, more than other years, I've recognized that I think that this comes from God, because I don't think I can do this on my own. But I see the good things, I think, more easily. Recognize that these are things that God is allowing in our life to bless us. Like grandchild number 5, and I was given permission to say that.
Romans 5:6-8 says this: Christ arrives right on time to make this happen. He didn't and doesn't wait for us to get ready. He presented Himself for this sacrificial death when we were far too weak and rebellious to do anything to get ourselves ready. And even if we hadn't been so weak, we wouldn't have known what to do anyway. We can understand someone dying for a person worth dying for, and we can understand how someone good and noble could inspire us to selfless sacrifice. But God put his love on the line for us by offering his Son in sacrificial death while we were of no use whatsoever to him.
If I was to talk to somebody who was considering following Jesus, one was, don't be scared of these things that you think you have to give up. Don't be scared of losing them. Because what you're going to gain, God's love, it's going to take that place of those earthly desires that you have. You're not going to miss anything. It's all going to be about God's love. And then the second thing is, if you're scared to come to him because of your past, because you're scared that he isn't able to love you, he already knows all of it. And he already died anyway. So there's no need to be scared of it. It's just perfect, forgiving love.
You know, I had this conversation with somebody that we're close to not long ago, and I told her that she is precious in Jesus' eyes. This is somebody going through a pretty bad time and feeling down about herself because of the situation that she found herself in. And so I think just in encouraging someone that's looking or not sure, that God views you as so much more than anybody else can. You have so much purpose in God's eyes compared to anybody else. Don't think about it for too long. You need to make that commitment to Jesus, because we don't know when our time's going to come. You know, almost 5 years ago, both Beth and I could be gone. We both already knew the Lord at that time, and I know where we would be had that happened. But if that had been somebody else who didn't know the Lord, you don't know when your time's going to be.
First of all, I'm just excited that someone would be considering a relationship with Jesus and accepting this gift of love. That is just beyond amazing. Like, I'm excited about that. And so my encouragement for you would be that if you're wondering that maybe something you can't give it up because of the Lord, or something that you did, that you wouldn't be able to receive God's love, but that's not true. There's a song that says, "Come just as you are before your God. Come." And so that's what I would say. I would say, take that step of faith. Come to the Lord, and He will accept you as you are, and He will just pour out His love into your life. So I don't know, it would get me excited if you accepted Christ, and I might start dancing right now if that would be your decision. So I'm just excited that you're considering it.
I would say, do it. Because there is no one who loves you more. There is no one who is going to complete your life more, give you more greater fulfillment, greater satisfaction, purpose, meaning in life than having a relationship with Jesus Christ, who is actually your creator, who designed you. Don't wait, do it. That relationship is worth everything.
Why would you not want to do it? What would be the risk of not doing it? Because, like, I mean, I know lots of people, they go through hard times and they kind of ask, like, where was Jesus? Where was God? Like, why can't I see Him in my life right now? And I would just, but like, for me, it's just where's the harm in actually? It's just saying yes, and the fact that, as I said before, like, Jesus' love, like, it's once you accept it, once you have it in your life, it's never gonna leave you. It recklessly follows us in a way that we can't understand, and yet nothing can stop it, and nothing that we do can stop His love from pursuing us. So personally, like, being able to experience joy in God's love, why would you not want to be able to experience joy on such an amazing level?
This is the good news that's for everyone. Jesus died so that we would be able to have life. This Easter, my question for you is, will you accept who Jesus says He is? Will you believe that He is who the Bible presents Him to be? Will you accept this gift of love? God has promised that if you accept this gift, if you believe that Jesus is who he says he is, if you confess your need for him, God has promised that he will come and he will transform your life. And he will give you that joy that was talked about. He will give you that hope and that assurance of who you are and that understanding that you are loved. I'd invite you. Will you accept this gift of love?